Origin Protocol March 2022 was able to make a move to the upside, and it was able to see 0.82 in a very long time. But here's the thing, since that March 2022 till now, which is 2 months, price has dropped to the price of 0.44 range. So price has been alternating between 0.44 range and 0.8. In fact, throughout April, the highest it could make was 0.7. So the question is, we had a breakout in March. Is the move up going to continue? And if so, how much longer do we have to wait for the buyers to push price above the current sideways market? Because currently price is in a sideways. So this video is going to answer the question, is the bulls, is the buyers still going to continue the move to the upside? And if yes, how much longer do we have to wait for price to break out of the current consolidation? Welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Thank you to my subscribers. I do appreciate you for always coming to spend time in watching these videos and leaving your comments behind on OGN. Trust me, I read all of them. It's just that I've not had time to reply them, but I will when I do have time. Now we're going to look at OGN on multiple time frame in this analysis. We're going to look at OGN on weekly chart, daily chart, monthly chart, and if time permits us, also we're going to be breaking down the 4 hours chart.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dream.
Welcome back. So I'm going to start this analysis. Of course, you can see I've already drawn my chart to make it easy and not waste our time. So if you look at this chart, it is quite explanatory. So I'm going to start the analysis from the weekly chart, and then we move to the daily chart, 4 hours chart, and if time permits us, we try to use the monthly chart as a confirmation of everything we've seen on the previous chart. So it's going to be a multi-time frame, and no indicator will be used. It's going to be simple pure price action using the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy. So as you can see on this, you can see there was a seller's line. So we have this seller's line. Remember, this is pure price action. This seller's line was broken right here. I'm sorry about the background noise. It's outside the gate. So you can see this was broken right here, right? But since the breakout, there's not been a continuation of the breakout. So what does that tell me? It tells me that currently price is experiencing what I call a retest. It is not a bad sign. It is a sign that a broken resistance is now trying to turn into a support, right? So you see previously price was having this accumulation, this sideways movement, where price was stuck in a range for quite some time. So you can see this is the high end. This time the candles were a bit very short and compressed, right? And you can see the reaction of the breakout is this candle, right? This green candle, which is a beautiful thing. Now the thing about this green candle is, since this happened around March, it happened midweek of March, right? Mid-month of March. Since the breakout till now, price is stuck within the middle of the candle. Why? Price has not been able to get above it or go below it. Now, price is trying to get a stable point to continue the move up. So our goal is to determine, is the move up still ongoing even though we are seeing red candles and price is still pushing down? Is there chances that if I hold this coin, they will recover? That is the question we're answering in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and explain deeper what I'm saying. So I'm going to take it to daily chart. So what we're going to see is, try to look for the buyer's footprint. So these buyers, they always leave a footprint, and we price actions traders, we call it higher lows. So I want to see the higher lows they have been establishing since the last time they formed a bottom around here. Now I made a video and I talked about, has OGN bottomed? If you've not watched that video, go and watch it. It will give you a better explanation. Now before I draw this, let me take it back off. Before I draw it, let me first of all use the box. That's the Bitcoin Gorilla box strategy to explain what the box is saying. So according to the box, we need to retest this breakout, right? We need to retest this point, right? So there was a breakout, there was this point, this sideways breakout. need to be retested, and the tip of the bus is very, very significant in the retest. So this retest is expected, though right now price is currently at the control line. The retest is expected to extend like this before the move continues, right? That's what I see. In fact, let me just break it down on 4 hours so that you see. I'm going to, when we're dealing with 4 hours, I'm going to break it even down. But this is, the retest is not over, meaning a little more patience is needed. The sideways is going to break down, but it's not going to break down completely to the downside. Instead, it's going to complete the retest that is trying to establish. Where it is now, the point where it is being held at is the control line, and the control line has already been hit before. Now, even if you made a double bottom and the price made a double bottom and make a move like this, right, on the control line, chances are high they will still get rejected and get pulled back, right? Why? Because control line is not really strong. So I will tell you this, 65% chances are high. In fact, for me, I see 75% chances are high they will still go down. It might take a while, it might take a struggle like this before they get, but they will still make it down. So it does not end the move. It does not end the move on OGN. I remember I told you guys, this retest was coming and patience is needed. So patience is saying that the retest is still going to happen. And again, another thing that could force this move to happen, this push down to happen, one thing that could force it is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin pushes down to 36k, because right now the support at 36k is, the support at 37,600 is already under threat, but if they can hold it, it can help them have a bounce to 40k again, because Bitcoin itself is still on a sideways market and has not been able to break out, and OGN is no difference, right? Remember, Bitcoin is king and most of these altcoins react to the move of Bitcoin. So OGN also itself has been stuck in the past 2 months. Bitcoin itself has been stuck in the past 2022 itself. In fact, OGN has seen more move than Bitcoin in the entire of 2022, right? So patience is literally very needed in OGN right now. But I tell you this, the move is continuing, because the move from here to here is no longer far, right? We are currently at 0.44, so 0.36 is not far, 0.34 is not far. It's just a little move down and the move continue. Why? It is still above our entry, because this is where we talked about the bottoming and the breakout, right? So around January we talked about the bottoming, about buying 0.22, 0.24 range that we're going to have this. So our entry is still above the point, right? It's still above, so giving us advantage. So it's still bullish. So if I bring in the trend line, so let's say I bring in the trend line now. Let's talk about bringing in the trend line. Let's use trend line. The box says here, right, 0.34 range, 3634. That's what the boss is saying, because the boss is predicting that we're going to have something like this happen, something like this that happened, something like this. So a sideways that could make us see 3-4, maximum 3-2, right, at this range. So we could have like this and the move up, right? Now let's try to use trend line and get the buyer's footprint and see if the trend line can confirm what the box is saying. So the trend line requires us to find the buyer's line since the last low they've made, the all-time bottom. This is the all-time bottom. You can see the last all-time, look at it. So what we're seeing is the buyer's line is telling us this. The footprint, we have 1 touch, we have 2 touch, we have minimum of, we need minimum of 2 touch. We have already have our minimum, we have 2 touches already, which means chances are high they will come for a 3rd touch, and there's no coincidence. It's the same place that our box says price is coming to, around 0.34. You can see it. That's where price is coming from at what's this point, right? 0.32, right, range. So price could get to this point, it's not any longer far, and we make a move like this before we get back to this up, right, and like this. So here's the thing, for us to have a smoother move on OGN, we have to completely see price move above this range, this red range, this range. Price needs to leave the biggest box bottom and at least enter the second box, which is this box. We need to enter into this red range and get above it, because you can see what happened here in the past, right? You can see how struggle it is. That is what we're going to experience here. we're going to see some struggle when we get into the red bus. That's why I said we need to leave the red range, right? So we're going to see that struggle of what we had, right? Already a good example of telling you how strong that red is, because that red area was previous support that is now going to act as a resistance area. You can see the reaction. You can see the reaction that how it's going to reach. So when we get here, we're going to see the same we're going to get the same reaction before they finally find their way to get even to the tip of the red box area, right? The red range area. Once they do, they will return. Their goal is to get to this control line. This is the blue box control line, right? The control line at 1.4. Now this is going to take quite a while. So this is not going to be something we rush. Now you must understand in trading is about 80% waiting, 10% buying, and 10% selling, which means this why do they say trading is 80% waiting? Because of price action. Now if we go back to weekly chart, let's go back to weekly chart, right? So you can see that weekly chart is saying that the entire of everything we're seeing on the chart that has been happening since the breakout is still completely struggling to over. So we have is like the entire 1 week, that's this green candle here, this green candle, the entire 1 week in that green candle, let's say $20 million, for instance, entered OGN. And in the next, since that 1 week in March till now, OGN sellers have not been able to exhaust the $20 million. So even though people are coming to sell off their coin, the capital that has entered the market is still withstanding that sell-off, because you can see that's why the green candle, they have not been able to go above it, they have not been able to go below it. So them exhausting the entire money that has entered the market will make them go below that our 0.32 range. You see how important that candle is, that green breakout candle is. So the retest is expected to come and touch that 0.32 worst case scenario, so that the move up will continue, right? So expect a little push down and don't let it get to you or affect you, because things are still playing according to plan. Remember, I always talk about sideways market. My box strategy deals with that 80% nobody's talking about. You see, nobody's telling you about this sideways market. Nobody's telling you about that period where the market is not tradable, and that's the most important aspect of trading, because that is exactly where you lose money. That is exactly where a lot of people run away from trading, because they cease not to understand the 80% waiting, what it means and how to take advantage of it. If you are always going in and out of the market, if you are forcing yourself to trade when there is nothing to trade, you find out that finally when there is something to trade, you've lost all your money and you have nothing left to actually trade. So if you are struggling trying to trade a sideways market, like if you look at this market example now, let's talk about sideways market. Let's look at this entire market, right? So if you look at this entire market, for instance, since price got to this point, there's really nothing to trade in this market, because even if you've been in this market, there's nothing to buy. So even if you've bought since May 2021, by now you would have even want to give up, because there's nothing the market is producing. This is the 80% of the time. But if you look at this upward move that the market has ever experienced in its lifetime, you find out that it's not even more than few months. So in the lifetime, the good pump that happened started from April and stopped at May. And in fact, it's just 1 month of a good pump. Okay, let's say you want to sell off, right? What is the short? The good short that this coin has ever seen is probably from that May all the way, probably another 1 month. 1 month of good sell, 1 month of good buy, and it has been since 1 year, since May. Now we are in May now. It has been 1 year of sideways. That is 80%, if not more than, of waiting. You must understand the right time to buy and the right time to sell, and understand that particular time where you are not even expected to do anything but just watch like an eagle. Be the watchman so that you will not miss when the opportunity comes. Do not be asleep. In trading is not all about going in and market trying to force it. No, trading is not by force, and it's not by thinking. It's by timing and taking the right action. When the right time comes, you must take action. If the right time comes and you don't take action, you miss it. No matter you're waiting, if the right time comes for you to take action, you don't take it, you miss it. So you must know the right time. And for me, I felt the right time for OGN buy was right here, right? Because if you were able to get this point, then you will be able to stand what is happening. Because we're at this point, price is already trying to reverse the move. But again, the way it struggled when it was coming down is the way it's struggling now that it's going back up. So the sideways is not over, but it's just that if you bought around that 0.24, 0.28 range, you are still in a good trade. And I think is what's still holding OGN, because OGN have a good future. Once OGN is able to come out of this, because it's going to break out. One thing about consolidation, if you know price action has 4 life cycle. Very easy. Accumulation, uptrend, distribution, downtrend. This is accumulation. And what does accumulations mean? Is a sign that money is entering the market, but for now the price is not moving. So if you've heard about volume is king, right? It means price follows volume. When volume is increasingly at a drastic range, even if price is falling, price will get to an extent, it will reverse and start changing to follow the direction of volume, right? So when volume is decreasing badly, even though price is moving up, price will get to an extent, it will stop and start decreasing just like the volume is decreasing. So volume and price move hand in hand if you understand price action. Well, if you don't and you want to learn more about price action, you can come and currently access into Makaveli Traders is open, where I'll give 6 weeks intensive training on price action, how to read chart and how to trade them. And the good thing is my platform, my family is different from other family. Why? After training you for 6 weeks, you're going to be trading live with me the entire lifetime, right? So every trade I share with you this trade openly. You're going to take the trade with me, and you're going to get analysis on the go. Why are we taking this trade and why are we not taking this trade? The honest truth is, currently Makaveli Traders has not been trading. The market is not tradable. There's nothing to trade. This is the time to sit and watch. This is not the time to FOMO. This is not the time to lose your money. This is the time to keep your money, so that if you have bought the coin, this is the time to take it, right? Because the move is coming. And when the move comes, a lot of people who are scared would have exited. And that is the plan of the market makers, right? The market makers will dump out all those. They will filter out those who do not understand how this works. They will filter them out with this sideways market. So as market goes back and forth, anxiety is growing, people are worried, and it is this emotion now. This game is a game of emotion, game of timing, and game of reaction. So people who understand it are sitting and watching. Just when you see a broken support that you just bought got broken and kicked you out of the market, few minutes later the same support will turn and around and the move will start pumping, and you wonder why you keep losing to the same market. It's very simple. It's all about timing and understanding. The market, you have to understand, there are times to be patient and there are times to take action. So for me right now on OGN, like I said, I am adding more to my OGN, but this is not yet the right time to add to OGN, because it's a time to be a little more patient with OGN. As OGN, right now where OGN is, let me tell you, it's on a support, but it's a mini support, which could actually move up. That's the first thing I said. But again, chances are high that if you are patient enough, you're going to get a better place to add. If you want to add like me, add to your OGM position, because Makaveli Trader, we don't buy all in. I don't believe in that all in. I believe in diversifying, but as well as having portfolio management. You know, a certain amount of money you are allocating to a certain coin. And me, I don't buy all in at once. I buy in percentage, right? So I enter what I want to buy now, and then as price goes my way, I add to the position as it pulls back, because back and forth movement is how price moves, right? Buyers and sellers must coexist. So as no matter how price pump, at sometimes it's going to pull back, right? The good thing is just know that it's pulling back to continue the move, so that's the best time to add to your position. But if it's pulling back and continue to pull back and over retest, it's not important, and it's not good to stay in such trade anymore. So for me on OGN, how will I know when it's no longer good to stay in the trade? Is when it breaks this point, right? Once OGN breaks 0.24, I will not entertain OGN again. I just know for now OGN is nothing, because if it breaks up below 0.22, it has broken below the last low. It's a threat, but I don't see that's the worst case scenario. So, but I don't see that happening because we still have strong support at 0.4. We have strong support at 0.36. We have strong support at 0.32. Now, why I call this support is because you're going to experience something like I said, something like this, right? When it's moved. Now, what can I say on the monthly chart to support what the daily chart is telling me? Okay, well, before we go to the monthly chart, I want us to just a brief look at the 4 hours chart. So this is the 4 hours chart. So here's what I see. So I'm going to try to explain to you what I'm saying here. So here already you can see how many times they have hit this 1 and 2. Is really weak, and I do see them doing this. So even if I try to connect the seller's line right here, I want to see if I can get another seller's line. Okay, that's a fresh seller's line. So this is very possible on the 4 hours that they could go like this, hold on, like this. This could happen. I didn't draw that right. Something like that. So something like that. Just my goal of what I'm trying to draw is that they're getting to this point. This is their real goal, right? To continue the move, and it's going to be like a measured move. So this is our first breakout. So if I take it here, good, perfect. So their target, according to my box strategy, is right here. The bulls are not done, but the sideways still needs time, because the sideways is still going to play out, right? Like this. So the goal is they are still going to get to that $1, but it's going to need patience, and sideways takes time, and I can't tell you when it's going to break out. Just like I remember when this was going on in January, I said we're going to be patient. I thought it's going to take 2 months, but unfortunately it took 3. So you see, I am human like you. I see it coming, but exact timing is just like God could show you a prophecy, but you don't know exactly when it's going to happen. You can see it coming, but you can't know the exact time it's going to happen. So I see it coming, the $1 coming on OGN, but I do see it's going to take us time, and it's going to take us patience. It could be 1 month, it could be 2 months, it could even be July, it could even be June. Who knows? But it's coming. It's coming sooner than I see it, because as soon as they get into this red area, like I said, it's very important. To get to the top of the red area will be easier, right? Because already they've had their multiple rejections and they have 3 attempts so far. So this will be their 4th, and on the 5th they will be out. That's what I expect from them. So this is what I see on OGN on the 4 hours. Now I'm going to round this analysis by looking at OGN on the monthly chart. The monthly chart should give us a proof that the chart is still bullish. At least we need a pattern, a bullish pattern on the support to give us a proof that yes, OGN is still bullish. So let's look and see what kind of pattern we can see on the monthly chart. Remember, you can learn trading with me. You can get 6 months intensive training with me, and this 6 weeks intensive training, after which you're going to be trading with me. Now I'm a high leverage trader. I trade 125x. It's not advisable. I have my trading law combined with this Bitcoin gorilla box strategy. Everything is possible. In fact, if you want to see more about the results, you can visit MakaveliTraders.com. You can see the access is currently open to come into the house. It's very cheap. Come and see for yourself. There's no need to doubt. There's no need to argue. There's no need to say she's claiming. I'm not claiming. Come and see for yourself. everything is plain. My students are even the one taking this trade themselves. If you think that is impossible, they will take it, and you're going to watch them because they share every single trade with you. All the students have been training, they will share it with you, tell you what they are saying, and you carry you along as you trade along with the entire family. So this is the support. This is the support, right, on the monthly chart. But here's the sweet thing about the support. I'm seeing a 3-bar reversal. Now in price action, a very important reversal pattern is this 3-bar reversal that I'm seeing here. This red, the red, the doji red, and then the green, right? They form this 3-bar reversal, which is a bullish pattern, a very strong bullish pattern. And again, the time frame we're finding it is in the higher time frame, making it even more significant on the monthly chart, telling you that anyhow price is likely going to hold this point, right? So, and if price successfully holds that point, then we're going to be getting something that looks like inverse head and shoulder, right? So we're going to have price form this pattern called inverse head and shoulder. That inverse head and shoulder, let's take it to the weekly chart to see it, what I mean. So you can see this is where I showed you on the monthly is going to be. So this inverse head and shoulder will be that this is already the left shoulder, this is the head. So all we need is for this to come and stop here and turn, giving us what? The right shoulder, inverse head and shoulder. And this will be like a neckline. And this will be like a neckline. Hold on. Let's draw the neckline. The neckline will be like this. This will be like a neckline. So it's like a slanting neckline. So we have something that looks like this. So this is the neckline. And do you know what that is? Do you know what it does? It means when the breakout happens, we're going to have an equal height of the head. And this is the head height, right? So it means we're going to have a move to this point. When the breakout happens, this is the neckline. So 1.8, but for me, I'm projecting 1.4 first. That is the first target. I'm looking at OGN 1.4. That is the first target before even any other target. Now, I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. If you have enjoyed this analysis, don't forget that Makaveli Traders is currently open. Access is currently open, and you can join us and trade live with me and learn more about trading.